You don't believe in God? Okay, so as far as where do you think we came from?
We're just made. I don't have like explain to you, tell you right now how we were created.
Oh.
I don't see a God up there.
Okay. So the explanation for it will take some time. So I'll give you a brief explanation, and then I'm going to give you. You come to me with my car. I'm going to give you a CD that's going to give you a detailed lecture / movie that's called Torah and Science that will scientifically prove to you that not only does God exist, but also, more importantly than that the Torah is the only divine book in the world. Meaning that it's not just enough for you to discover that God exists, because that would still leave the other religions as an option. Meaning, okay, so even if God exists, how do I know that Judaism and the Torah is it and not the New Testament and not the the Quran and not maybe the Agori tribe that likes to eat people? Maybe they're right. Maybe we should start eating each other in the middle right now. You look delicious. So now, how do we arrive at this conclusion? Put some ketchup on you? Maybe. So now, how do we arrive? Okay, so this we made ourselves several short films called Torah, Science, and Ancient Wisdom. I highly recommend it for all of you guys to watch them. I believe we have 4 or 5 parts. And then there's also a movie that was made by Rav Mizrahi, Sheikhye. It's called Torah and Science. It's a 4-hour film that obviously you don't have to watch it in one sitting unless you want to, but it's literally scientifically proving that not only is God real, but there's only one real religion in the world that came from God. The rest of religions come from man.
Why doesn't everyone watch this video?
Because again, you didn't know about the video until now. Yeah. So if now that you know about this video, you're going to watch it. We do. Hundreds of thousands of people have watched this video. Countless people have changed their life because of this video. I have almost 2 million minutes per month that people watch my Shiurei Torah and change their life. So, but again, just because you have the right answer does not necessarily mean that everyone's going to know that it exists. So I could tell you a lot of things. Huh?
You have the video.
Yeah, you have the video, but it doesn't mean that everybody's going to watch it. Did you watch every movie that ever existed?
If you say that, if you tell everyone, like, this is the real God,
right?
Like, to watch this video, it's science and everything, and they'll watch it.
Well, you do, but not everybody wants to watch it, and not everybody necessarily. You're not accessible to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
If God already did this, and obviously people still don't follow. So if I do it, doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to follow. So I'll give you a few things. First of all, there's a couple of approaches to arriving at a conclusion where you realize that God is real. First and foremost, if you go about it the scientific way, for example, the atheists believe that yes, the world did not come from the Bible, but rather everything started with a single cell, and that cell went through the process of mitosis or meiosis, which means that it split, replicated itself, and then replicated itself again, and then evolved and replicated itself again, and again, and again, and again, and eventually became some type of other evolved being, which eventually became some type of lizard, and the lizard eventually became a dog or something, and then a monkey, and then eventually became me. That's, in essence, the short version of science believing in evolution. Now, even if a person wants to believe that everything began from one cell, you following me? You with me? Explanation is for you. I know the explanation. It's for you. I know the answer. With me. Okay. Even if a person wants to believe that all beings, all of us here, and the 8 billion people in the world that live today, and all the billions that lived before us, even if somebody wants to believe that all of that, all of the species, all of the humans, all of the amoebas, all of the germs, all of the lions, everything started with one cell, even if you want to hypothesize and say that this is it, you still have to answer a very, very critical question in order to confirm that your answer is valid, which is, where did the first cell come from? Because we all know that it's impossible for something to come from nothing. So there had to be one cell, and that cell replicated and so on and so forth. So even if you want to believe in that whole evolution process, where did the first cell came from? So that already means that even if you want to believe in evolution, you still have to conclude that there has to be a supreme being. You call him God, call him Hashem, call him whatever you want. Point is, there has to be a supreme being that was before that cell. Now, that being must be superior, huh? Well, dinosaurs still had to come from that cell. Dinosaur came from that cell. Dinosaur didn't just come by itself. Dinosaur came from something else, right? So a cell evolved into the dinosaur, let's say, and into the human, into everything else. Where did that first cell come from? So here we see that even if you want to believe in evolution, you still have to make sure to explain where did it originate from, and that is a question that scientists either conclude that there has to be a God, there has to be a supreme being, or you could just go to the other side. I guess there's no key. You could just go to the other side. I don't think there's anybody else there. So one of the guys can check there's nobody there. Just go to the other side instead of... Check. One of the guys check that there's nobody on the other side. Be a decent human being. Check there's nobody there, and then lock it behind yourself. Oh, it's opening. Anyway, so even if somebody wants to believe in evolution, you still have to conclude that there has to be a supreme being. Has to be. Now, if there's a supreme being, we already believe in a supreme being now. Now we've arrived, there has to be a God. Call him whatever you want, but there has to be a God. Why? Because the cell came from it. So that means that God obviously has to be superior to that cell and everything that evolved from that cell. There's no way that the creator is less than the creation. If you decide to, let's say, take a bunch of electronic pieces and plastics and all types of things, and you create some type of phone or some type of electronic, the phone will never be smarter than you. Why? Even though it may calculate things faster than you, it's not going to be smarter than you because the phone cannot create itself. You created the phone. So the creator will always be superior to the creation. Therefore, the creator, the original creator, must be superior to us today. All creations, not just the original creation. All creation all the way to today. Now, if we go back to the example that you now created the next best thing, the next best phone in the world. Now, no one's ever seen a phone like this. You created some phone that no one even thought about. No one even knows it's a phone. It looks so odd. Now, if you want people to buy this thing, and you want to make billions of dollars, guess what? You have to let them know how to use it. Now, you cannot go to every single consumer and tell them, listen, this is how you do it, and show them, what are you going to do? You can't do it. It's going to take you too much time. If you want to sell it to 8 billion people, what are you going to do? You're going to write an instruction set. You write instructions. Why? Because you know how to use it better than everybody else. Nobody's going to know you better than you. You created it. And you're going to have to write a set of instructions to let people know how to use this innovative phone, innovative product. Has to be. So if a human being, the creation, pay attention over there, if a human being knows enough, is developed enough to know that his own creation, his own innovation must have instructions, then of course his creator also knows that there has to be an instructions to the world. He's not going to just create a world and just, let's see what happens.
Well, 7 days, let's see what happens. He just did 1 day humans, 1 day animals, 1 day...
Right, but he also created a Torah.
Okay.
And the Torah, no, the Torah, the Gemara Masechet Chagigah says, the Torah is actually the blueprint of the world.
It was there, but it wasn't official. Like, it was there, like Yaakov, Avraham, and Yitzchak, they weren't Jewish, but they kept it, because, they didn't involve it.
Right, but
they still did it.
Right, no, but how did they do it? How did they know it existed? Because he gave it to them.
Right.
So the Gemara Masechet Chagigah says 974 generations before the world was created, Hashem created the Torah. He used black fire on top of white fire to write the Torah, all the rules of the Torah. That's why until this day, it's a law, it's halacha, that when you write a Sefer Torah, it has to be black ink on white paper to symbolize the original of what happened in heaven. You cannot write it in nice green ink if you want, or nice pink ink. You can't do it. Why? Because it has to be black on white.